Good evening, Jokanyana. May I today take this opportunity to talk to all of us, the Luo community, with regards to the main reason why I opened this account. I came to realize that most of us have really worked very hard to take our kids to school, to colleges, but in the process, actually, we end up not giving all the necessary education to our kids with regards to our culture and us as a people, the Luo community. Somebody along the line kind of cheated us that once you are able to speak English, Swahili, Spanish, French, Germany, you are more learned than the people that know and speak Luo and can speak fluent Luo. We ended up and we have actually confused our kids to an extent that they no longer even know their own mother tongue. The white man came to confuse us in Africa. Our beautiful, wonderful culture is actually dying, and we are really helping them to kill our own culture. The reason why I opened my account is that in the process of my work, I meet a lot of young people that actually, some of them don't even know the Luo language, and they claim to be Luos. Most of them cannot even mention the names of their grandfathers, both on their mama's side and their father's side. And we are proudly sitting there as parents, as a Luo community, thinking that the Luo culture or the Luo people is moving into the future. Which future are we going to have as a Luo community? If at the end of the day, our young ones knows nothing about their community, about their culture, about their roots. It pains me a lot when I meet people that actually cannot even speak Luo language and they claim to be Luos. The white man came to confuse our culture. The white man came to confuse us. Yes, it's good to go to school. Yes, it's good to go to know the languages. It's good to speak in Swahili, speak in Spanish, German. It's good. But should we know these foreign languages and ignore our own mother tongue? We used to have those early years for most of us that actually grew up in 80s and 90s. The real legends that really suffered to be where they are today. We were taught a lot of things in school, including vernacular, which was also part and parcel of the school system. Somewhere along the line, somebody decided to scrap it. I don't understand why. When our kids come back home from our school, from the colleges, back at home, we are now forced to speak Swahili or English with them. Where will they learn our Luo language? Where will they learn our Luo culture? Yes, I do know that some of us feel that by speaking these foreign languages, it portrays us as so learned. A real learned man will know about their background. A real learned woman will know about their background. A real learned person will tell you more about their clan. Should be able to know about your culture, not know about your people. We are in a situation whereby our current generation actually knows very little about our people. And it is not just the current generation only. It pains me that at times when I meet people that are even older than myself, I end up realizing that I know even more than them. These were people that were born before me. Why are we leaving our Luo community, Luo culture to die away? It is up to us to make sure that we remain as Luos. We have a future and a new generation of Luos. This is the main reason why I decided to open my TikTok account and even the YouTube account for people to get the necessary information with regards to our Luo culture. Nowadays, I hear people telling me that those are the things that drags us behind and we cannot move forward because of those cultural things. How do you even start mentioning that? And you claim to be a Luo. What Luo are you? Some people say that nowadays there are modern Luos. A Luo is a Luo. I've never realized that somebody can be a modern Luo. You can only be a modern by knowing your language and utilizing it in a modern way. You can only be modern by knowing your culture and utilizing it in a modern way. Do you realize that actually even our Luo herbal medicine were much, much better than the English, the white man's medicine that they brought to us? In the old days, even when we were still not there, our people rarely would you ever hear of deaths of young people. When I was a kid, we only used to hear of wasays, old people dying, old grandmothers dying. Nowadays, young people die like something else because we have actually neglected the good culture that was actually elongating the lives of our people. It pains me a lot. Let us come back. Let us go back. Recently, I heard a great son of Africa, Mr. Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda, saying that, when somebody can speak English in Africa, that's when it's considered learned. When they speak French, that's when they are considered learned. But when a French man cannot speak English, we respect them. But when we cannot speak our own language, people say that if you cannot speak English, people say that you are not learned. Now, how will you call yourself when now you cannot speak your own mother tongue? Can you call yourself learned? You cannot even, count 2 to 3 generations of your grandfathers. You call yourself learned because you know the great-grandfather of Queen Elizabeth, and you don't know your own great-grandfather. You don't know your lineage of your ancestors, and you call yourself learned. Learned knowing what? We nowadays, is it, we earlier on, in the in the mid 80s, early 90s, we could actually sit down as young boys and listen to Obondidiel Kamatara, Nyatiti Ogwankokoth. We could listen to this was this. As the same things stand right now, you realize that even the old traditional music of Luos are dying away. With the death of Obondidiel Kamatara, with the death of Ogwankokoth, with the death of the great musicians that we used to have in Luo, Alego, Nyanza. And do we have any people coming out to replace them? Ogwankokoth really created very nice songs. So talented. Are we really going somewhere as a Luo community if now our young ones cannot even speak our language? We really need to sit down and relook and rethink about this. We must work very hard to make sure that our community remains as a community with our cultures. We'll continue with that.